Half Marathon. Alongside is Dr. Larry Finity, Ahmed Pereira. A pleasure to be with you, and we can't wait for the 48th annual New Bedford Half Marathon. Larry, it just seems to get better and better.
It's a beautiful day for New Bedford, and it's a great day to run.
It truly is a great day to run. We got cloudy skies, temperatures right around 50 degrees, and that makes for a really good running time. As long as the sun isn't too bright, is this about the best weather for a runner?
It is good. It's a southwest wind, so they'll have it in their face down on the peninsula. But when they turn and head north, it'll be pushing them back home.
Now, we've had a two-time winner, Matt McDonald, who is back once again, and could it be a three-peat?
It could be. He was in top 10 in Boston last year. With so many Kenyan runners coming in to run Boston every year, that's a tremendous accomplishment.
And when we talk about the New Bedford Half Marathon, you've been here for all of them. Let's just go back and remind people of exactly what we're talking about here. A couple of places where it becomes difficult. When you go down to the south end, the wind's either coming with you when you first get there, or it's against you. And it's going to be that way for a few miles.
Yes, it's going to be against them going down Rockdale Avenue all the way down to the beaches and then around the peninsula. But when they turn on South Rodney French and head north on East Beach, it should push them home.
And one of the nice things about this, too, is that you come up County Street, and that's just a long, long uphill battle.
If you don't know this race course, that's where the big surprise is.
We got coverage for you all over the place today. We'll tell you all about that in just a moment right here. And, oh, by the way, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah, my name's Franco Bonfini, Cape Cod.
Lisa Spencer, Rachel Bonfini, Don Varnum, Cape Cod Athletic Club. We ate a lot of pancakes, a lot of bagels and spaghetti.
Here for the New Bedford Half Marathon, the mayor of the city of New Bedford, and that's John Mitchell. And Mayor, first things first, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day to you, Ed.
Oh, it's been a long time. We were together just last night, it seems.
Yeah, for the Friendly Sons event. Yeah, it was a great event last night, annual St. Patrick's Day gala. So here we are back at it. I think most of the people who were there last night are still recovering, but I think they're doing their job today.
They certainly are. And how about this? Over 2,000 runners already we know of that registered for today.
Yeah, well, we've seen over the last several years a decline in participation. The pandemic certainly didn't help. We had to cancel as early on in the pandemic, and we saw a lack of interest. But it's bounced back really significantly. The number of signups this year far larger than they were last year, and so that was before the race. So the trend is very, very encouraging. And just looking out at the crowd now, it's clearly a much larger crowd than it was last year.
Let me ask you, as the mayor of the city of New Bedford, what does the New Bedford Half Marathon mean to you?
Well, it's in some ways it's a rite of spring. It's an emergence from winter into spring and all the things that happen in spring and summer. But it's also an occasion to bring people together for a common purpose. There are lots of folks who volunteer for the race. Obviously, a couple of thousand participants plus. But we have all the spectators along the 13-mile route. It's a way of sort of connecting up the city, and there's a lot to be said for that these days, Ed. It's really the occasions when we can get together and work towards something and have fun along the way are harder to come by, and this is certainly one of them for the city of New Bedford.
And do a good send-off here. Don't say, "Gentlemen, start your engines." Just say, "Let's begin," right?
I say, I don't say ready, set, go, but something close to that. Yeah.
Okay, ready, set, go. And we'll be back with more in just a moment here on this St. Patrick's Day. Well, it should be an exciting men's race, and here with a preview of today's men's race, here's Joe Cabral along with Jim Dandino.
Welcome, Joe Cabral and Jim Dandino with you here this morning. And Jim, we have a two-time champion returning here again as the men's favorite.
Yeah, beautiful day on this St. Patrick's Day. We have Matthew McDonald, the Irishman, going for title number 3 in a row here. He's won the last 2 years going away, and we might expect a little bit of a battle because he has a teammate who should be contending with him. Thomas Toth, a Canadian who's out of Plastow, New Hampshire.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see because the last couple of years we've been here, McDonald has really controlled almost from start to finish, Jim.
Yeah, his strategy really has been, once he got to the top of Hathaway, once he made the left turn onto Rockdale, to really pull away. So he's remained in the group the last couple of years, and we expect the same sort of strategy today.
You mentioned Thomas Toth, the Canadian. Best time for Thomas compared to Matt?
Yeah, Thomas has run 64:07 for a half marathon, and Matt's run 63:43. So Thomas isn't too far off of what Matt's best is. So again, both are members of the Boston Athletic Association high performance team, and we do expect a battle if they're both feeling good.
Yeah, and the weather here today, temperature's moderate, right around 50 degrees, a little bit of a breeze right now, and it has been drizzling throughout the morning here, but seems to be clearing up a bit. So with that in mind, those type of conditions, temperatures right around 50, should be a fairly fast pace, I would imagine.
Yeah, we do expect a fast pace today. If the top athletes are very fit and peaking for this race, which is probably not the case. Matt's coming off the Olympic trials on February 3rd, and he did come back fairly quickly to run the first leg of the New England Grand Prix race a week later, but he's really peaking for the Boston Marathon in a month. So this is a good tune-up for him to see where he's at and look for a fast time today. I expect probably similar to what he's done in the last couple of years.
So we'll be with you throughout the race, giving you updates from the men's truck, looking at the leaders there on the men's side of things. And Jim Marshall will be in the women's truck, giving you updates. And let's throw it now to Jim.
Good morning. Welcome to the 2024 New Bedford Half Marathon. Jim Marshall along with Tom Derderian. Again, Ethan Lopez, our videographer. Once again this year, we are on the lead women's truck, and we'll bring you all the action for that race. Tom, first of all, the sun's trying to make an appearance here. Not a bad day to do a 13.1 mile run.
Well, my terror is always there'll be a big nor'easter. The waves will be crashing over, the driving rain, but that didn't happen. The sun is out. St. Patrick has blessed us, obviously.
Not a bad day at all. Tom, you've been checking out some of the lead women. Who should we be looking at for this race this year?
My favorite is Holly Reese, who won this race in 2018.
Okay.
And she's been running some good track times indoors and good 5,000. So she's perhaps in the best shape of her life. She runs for Battle Road. She's from UK, and she's been here on a long stay. She was here for school, and I suppose she's now working, and maybe she's going to become a citizen. But she's definitely the contender, along with Rachel Hyland from the BAA.
Okay.
And she'll be up there. And of course, there's always the possibility of the great unknown.
Right.
The person we don't know about, who didn't tell us she was coming, and arrives, and we're in the truck, and we look down. Who's that?
Well, our defending champ is not here, that we covered last year.
She is
Megan?
Busy with child.
Yes. So we are going to have a new winner this year, and that's pretty exciting too. Again, it's a nice day to run. As you said, we're going to have a tailwind at the start, which means a tailwind as you're coming off the beach and coming up on County Street, which is the last stretch of a good mile-long hill.
Just when you're going to need the help, yes.
Yeah. All right, so we will join you at the 2 mile mark where we'll pick up the women, and looking forward to a great road race here on this St. Patrick's Day.
The Greater American Road Race and the Bedford Half Marathon is back in business, and you're a part of it. I hope you have a great race. It's a little breezy, but it's St. Patty's Day, so that means that the wind's always going to be at your back, whichever way you're going. Just keep that in mind. I want to thank everybody who put this thing together. The Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, led by Dan McCarthy, the whole group. Let's hear it for them. They did a lot of work. Dan's right here. Dan, wave to them. I want to thank all the city employees, the Bedford Police Department, Department of Public Infrastructure, EMS, EMA, everybody for all the work that they did this year. And I want to thank all of you for participating. This is a fabulous race. The temperature's great. And when you get back, it's one big party downtown. So enjoy yourselves in downtown New Bedford. It's a great day for it.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Have a great race.
Thank you, Mayor Mitchell. If I could have your undivided attention at this time. This race is under the direction and management for many years of the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, who sadly lost 5 members this past year. So today we remember Paul Marr, Paul Hutchinson, Ray Kelly, Dave Branco, and Paul Ryder, and ask for a moment of silence in their memories. Thank you. Also for many years, the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick and the Bedford Half Marathon have partnered with the Miss New Bedford Scholarship Program. It's my distinct honor to introduce Miss New Bedford, Emma Gendro.
Thank you so much. I just want to say that I'm so thankful to be here today as Miss New Bedford, and I want to wish all of the runners good luck, stay safe, and just have an amazing run. All of your hard work and your dedication has brought you to this moment, and it will pay off. So have fun and be safe. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you, Emma. At this time, we'd ask you all to please remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of the national anthem. And please welcome your national anthem singer or former Miss New Bedford, Mrs. Donna Wurzberger.
Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad strokes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Donna Wurzberger. We are all set to go with the Great American Road Race. We have okay, we're going to have one wheelchair competitor get a head start, and then everyone else will start. We'll have the mayor give the official start. All right, our wheelchair is off. 30 seconds. For everyone else, have a great run at the Great American Road Race to the Bedford Half Marathon. Four, 3, 2, 1.
Joe Cabral and Jim Dandino with you from the men's truck, just underway. You can see the participants making their way here now initially, and a large contingent today, over 2,000 runners anticipated by the time all of the late entries were enrolled. So again, right around 2,000 or so in the New Bedford Half Marathon.
Matt McDonald and Thomas Toth have already taken the reins here, not even a half mile into the race.
And Jim, you're expecting a time somewhere around the 104 mark for the eventual winner here today.
Yes, that's correct. Matt ran 104.12 last year. On a day like today, that's about what we're expecting. That's where he's been the last couple of years. We expect more of the same today.
We talked about the weather a bit during, again, the warm-up to today's race. Mild temperatures, again, right around 50 degrees. There is a breeze now at this point, Jim, in the runner's face. That'll affect them for a bit, but we talked earlier on a sidebar about the wind, especially when you get down around the water. That's when it will be very key.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Matt's used the same strategy. Looks like he's using the same strategy as he did the last couple of years. He's going to run in a pack probably to the top of Hathaway Hill, and I expect at that point there'll be a little bit of a break once the wind becomes at their back, and then they're going to run, you know, until they get to the Fort Tabor area with the wind at their back, and then they're going to face that strong headwind. But today it seems milder than it has been in past years. I don't think it's as strong as it has been.
Joining us right now, Dan McCarthy from the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, and Dan's the guy who's the point man for the Friendly Sons to put this race together year in and year out. First things first, though, happy St. Patrick's Day, Dan.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Ed. Thank you very much.
Thank you for so much. Now, when we got here this morning, a little bit of rain, but just as we were about to start the race, the sun broke through. Perfect timing.
Luck of the Irish.
Oh, is that what it's called?
It is.
I thought it was just good fortune for all of us. When it comes to an event like this, how many different organizations have to be involved to put this together and make it work?
It is an impressive endeavor. We have, the city does an amazing job, especially from, you know, the mayor's office on down, especially Department of Public Infrastructure, the police department, the fire department, emergency management, EMS. We work with the teams from South Coast Hospital Group who do the first aid here. We have 1,000 volunteers on the course today. So the police department do an incredible job making sure that the streets close to automotive traffic for the runner's safety. We have 120 police officers out on a detail today, making sure that the runners are safe and that the people of the city get to enjoy this annual event.
And you know, it was very impressive today. A lot more runners here than last year. You know, last year I could see Union Street. I couldn't see Union Street when they're getting ready to start. That's how many runners we had today.
Yeah, it's excellent. We had about 500 more people than we had last year, so we're coming back. I mean, COVID took a big hit to the industry in general, the running industry, but it's making a comeback, and we're really excited. And it doesn't hurt to be on St. Patrick's Day.
That certainly goes a long way. Before I let you go, what is the best part of doing this year in and year out for you?
It's the friendships. You know, I've got to meet so many interesting people that I would never have otherwise met. I'm a volunteer, so I got involved here in 2008, not knowing anything about road racing, and our organization, the Friendly Sons, have been welcomed with open arms by the running community, and you know, we're happy to be part of the USA Track and Field New England Grand Prix, and we're just excited that we get to showcase New Bedford, because it's a beautiful city, it's a beautiful day. The course takes you through some of the nicest parts of town, and it's an exciting day for everybody. And it's really it's a labor of love. We really enjoy doing this.
As our late friend Sean Toomey would say, I love New Bedford.
I love New Bedford. That's right.
There you go. And we'll leave it at that. Back to the race.
Jim, we are approaching the first mile marker, and everything according to what you expected thus far?
Yeah, we have a big pack. They're going to be crossing the first mile momentarily. We have a time of 4:46, 4:47 to the first mile. We got a pack of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 11 guys right there. We also have a master, which is very surprising, Ed Baker, who's in that lead pack. That pace would equate to just under 105 with the headwind. That's a pretty big group for the first mile here.
Yeah, the wind is starting to pick up a bit here, Jim, but again, a pretty good first mile.
Yeah, that's a faster mile than we've run in the last couple of years. So that time would equate to like a time under 105, but the miles, you know, once we get on to Rockdale, are going to be considerably faster than that. As we've seen in the last couple of years, they're down around the 440 range, if not faster.
Well, Jim, we are approaching the 2-mile mark now, and we've had a bit of a change in the lead runner here now, and someone that you heard about prior to the start of today's race.
Yeah, that's Grant O'Connor. He's an RPI grad. He's run 29:19 for 10,000 meters, and I believe this is his first half marathon. He's gearing up to run a marathon in Boston in a month. But yeah, he probably felt that the pace was a little too slow, you know, looking for a good effort going into Boston. But I'm sure Matt and Thomas are more than happy to let him take the pace into this wind, and we'll see when the real run starts once we get on to Rockdale Avenue. But yeah, so in front right now, approaching the 2-mile mark, is Grant O'Connor from West Hartford, Connecticut, and RPI grad, 24 years old.
Yeah, Grant O'Connor, and you can still see Matt McDonald and Thomas Toff right there in the pack in places 3 and 4 at this point. And then we see another runner that we have to get a real look at that we were not familiar with prior to the start of today's race. We'll try to get his information here as the race unfolds, but surprise here early on, but as Jim mentioned, just setting the pace here most likely for McDonald and Toff eventually. But now we're starting to make our way up a bit of an incline. So the hill starts here as you head up toward Nauset Street and then get ready to turn on to Hathaway Road. So again, the group's separating a bit here, Jim, as you can see. The group now more in kind of a straight line here now, with O'Connor still in the lead.
All right, we've passed the 2-mile mark and we're going up Hathaway Road right now as we make our way past the second hill, and we do have a women's leader right now, one of the race favorites that you were talking about.
Anna Osling, yes. And Holly Reese is right behind her, and they're on the same club, so they know each other, and Holly knows exactly what's going on, and Holly knows the course better, so I think we're going to have some drama very soon.
If they're two teammates, do you go to a race right now, Tom? If your teammates, you're working together, does one of them say, hey, I'm going to take the lead, or I'm going to, are they working together, I guess?
Sometimes there is such collusion, and sometimes there isn't.
Okay.
And sometimes people do odd things when they're within the sound of somebody firing a gun at the starting line.
Now, do you want to, at this point, are you trying to... Are you going out too fast, do you think, or is this a good pace?
Many people will ruin their races in the first few miles.
Okay.
And then go into a death march at the end.
And you've talked about that.
Yes. Which runners do that and make the wrong decision? All depends on their confidence in their training.
Right.
I mean, it's in the training. All the preparations are manifest on race day, and no amount of willpower is going to make up for a lack of training.
We're coming up to the 3-mile mark right now, and we're coming up to about 16:30 as far as our unofficial time when we get to the 3-mile right now. 16:35 is the time that I got unofficially.
And we have an update from the course as we begin here. At the 2-mile mark, Larry, Grant O'Connor is leader, and he's doing that in a time of just under 9 minutes.
Wow, that's incredible at 2 miles. He's really out well. There's a southwest wind that's pushing these people at this particular time, so that's a good time for that mark.
Actually, I hate to tell you this, but after 2 miles, it's 9 minutes and 50 seconds. So that makes it a lot, but that's more like it, I would say.
That's more practical.
I would say that is, yes, that is. And on the women's side of things, at the mile 3 in just over 16 and a half minutes, it's Anna Oster who's our first leader.
Sounds like a collegiate runner, I would imagine, because she's really moving fast. She's under 6 minutes a mile. And, getting out of that course, get at top of hill at Rockdale Avenue, take that push down to the beaches. That's a good time.
Now, when you look at those times there, does that tell you that we could have some pretty fast times here today? Is it on pace for average? What do you see with that?
Those are pretty quick times for the 2 mile and the 3 mile. But we're going to have to see what happens once they have that southwest wind in their face. as they get to the peninsula. If they can do well there and then turn and get that southwest wind behind them coming up to the finish line, could be a good time.
Let's get back out to the course to see how everyone's making out.
Joe Cabral and Jim Dandino in the men's truck. It's the New Bedford Half Marathon. And way out in front, maybe 100 meters or so, it's Grant O'Connor, a surprise leader here as we approach mile marker 4.
Yeah, Grant O'Connor passes 4 miles in 1934, and as you state, Joe, he's got at least 100 meters, if not more, on the chase pack right now, and he just looks good. I mean, reminiscent of McDonald last couple of years. Got to the top of that hill, and he just keeps extending the lead right now, but he looks fabulous right now. He's a 2015 Hall High School graduate and a graduate of RPI. But he was also the national champion in the 5,000 meters with a personal best of 29:19 in the 10,000 meters. And I'm pretty sure this is his debut half marathon, and he looks fabulous.
Way ahead of the pack, as you mentioned, over 100 meters in the lead. Matt McDonald, the two-time defending champion, well back. Looked like the last time we saw him, he was laboring a bit. And what we're seeing here from O'Connor is smooth and easy running, even into the wind, and he is just setting a pace here that no one else can keep up to at this point.
Yeah, he looks to be clicking off sub 450s right now, and the lead looks, again, over 100 meters for sure right now, but he looks fabulous right now, and we're going to have to see how he looks once we get down by Fort Cave and we turn into the wind and see if the chase group can close on him. But right now, he's running away with it right now.
All right, we are coming up now to the 4 mile mark here for the New Bedford Half Marathon, the women's division. Anna Osser, number 694, still in the lead. It's still a close race. Number 2, Holly, is still right in eye shot right now.
Holly Reese, winner of this race in 2018, is in top shape. She knows the course, so I think she will be in pursuit now. So this is a matter of the chase and the chaser. Yeah.
So Tom, you went through the first 3 hills there right at the start. You get to the top of Hathaway Road. It's 3.5 miles. Now you're going downhill, and as you said, this is the speed part of the race.
It is, and I think Holly knows that, and will be slowly edging up on Anna. And we'll see the one moment when she catches her, and that will be the moment of truth. And
right.
That's the moment we're waiting for here.
But would you do it this early though, Tom? Would it 3.5 miles? We're coming up on 4, but is that something where you make a move, or are you just trying to keep your pace? And
the Holly's pursuit will be very gradual.
Okay. Because we're going downhill now for another up until mile 8 is all downhill. So
she will just slowly move up. There's no particular hurry now to make any kind of sudden moves as one would do in a track race.
Right. The good thing too is the sun has come out a little bit. It's not as cloudy as it was before, and it's a comfortable temperature. You look at the runners, male or females right now, they seem to have a nice pace going right now. We just passed 4 miles at 22:30. 22:30.
They are running into a fairly stiff wind.
Yes, which means too, the good thing is it means you get the wind will be going on your back, or to your back on County Street, which is a nice thing.
Grant O'Connor well ahead of the pack. Certainly someone we did not expect to have this type of lead, or anyone to have this type of lead at this point as we are approaching mile marker number 5. And really it's just smooth and easy running for Grant O'Connor, and the wind is really picking up here, Jim, and it doesn't seem to be deterring him at all.
No, he looks great. It looks like to be a little bit of a crosswind now, as opposed to a tailwind, but it's coming slightly out of the north, and he's running with a little bit of crosswind right now, but more so at his back. As we approach Buttonwood Park here in the 5 mile mark.
Yeah, so usually at Buttonwood Park we see the race a lot more congested than what we're seeing here now. Runners still in a pack relatively close to the leader, even if he does have a bit of a lead. We just passed the 5 mile mark. Jim, what do we have?
Yeah, 24-23, so that mile was 4:48. So he continues to look fabulous with building his lead here, and he probably has 200 meters on the chase group right now. We can barely see Matt McDonald, who looks like he's in second or third place right now, but again, continuing to lead this race by a wide margin here as we are in Buttonwood Park.
All right, we're on Rockdale Ave here heading south, and we are coming up on the 5 mile mark in just a few moments here. We still have the same leader, Anna Ossier. Number 694 is in the lead. She's been in the lead pretty much since we picked her up at mile 3. Looks good, Tom. She's been sort of in a group of guys.
Yeah, well, there's a stiff headwind they're running into, and she's very cleverly tucked in behind taller people. That's quite wise. Holly is back there. Holly Reese, winner in 2018, is watching her and watching.
So you look at that gap, and she's maybe a block behind as we're coming up here on Kempton Street. She's like a block behind Anna right now.
Yeah.
That's not too far for her?
I think it's a case of a predator and prey.
Okay.
Yes. We'll see this wind up.
So we're coming up to the noise tunnel too, right here as we get to the 5 mile mark, Buttonwood Park. Always a great part of the race. Lots of fans in this part of the course. And as a runner, and you've done it many times, how important are the fans, the spectators, when you're running?
They're very essential. When you have people cheering, you feel that the effort, the pain is worth it. You're not alone. So yeah, this race has great fan support. Probably second to the Boston Marathon only in New England races.
And this is not a bad day for a spectator to be out here either. This is a good day to be out here cheering the runners. As you said, there's a headwind coming, obviously going south to north, but still though the temperature has warmed up a tad since we started this race.
Yes, and the city of New Bedford does a great job in stopping all the traffic on the road, so runners do not have to approach an intersection worried about a car cutting them off. They don't have to worry about dying in the race from a car, only metaphorically from their own effort. And the streets are swept clean.
Yes.
They're so clean you could eat off. Okay, all right, but no, the city of New Bedford spruces itself up in preparation for this race, and it's greatly appreciated by all the runners and the people who follow the sport.
The course does look really, really good right now.
getting ready to make another turn here on Rockdale Avenue. Maybe in the distance our viewers can see a few runners, but they are way back now at this point, Jim.
Yeah, it looks like definitely over 200 meters at this point, so I'm guessing, 35 seconds or so, but they have a long way to go before they can, come close to what Grant's running at this point. He just looks very, very strong right now and looks very confident. He's still up on his toes, pumping in the arms, and he looks great at this point.
Effortless running from Grant O'Connor in the lead, approaching 6 miles here, and there's not much more you can say at this point other than we were not expecting Grant O'Connor to be in the lead, other than your friend Jim, who said he'd be there. So again, I mentioned to you earlier off camera that you should have been dialing into Las Vegas here, and you could have probably made a tidy sum.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happens these type of events. We got late registrations, and guys like this often show up. So, kudos to him. And again, he looks great at this point as we approach the halfway mark of this race.
We are now coming up to the 6 mile mark here for the New Bedford Half Marathon, and we are close to 32 minutes, but Holly's making her move right now, it seems. Her pace has been slow and steady, but she is certainly catching up to Anna. It's no longer a block lead, as I like to say. I don't know distance, but it's not a block anymore.
Yeah, she's inching up closer and closer, sort of like a predatory reptile sneaking up on the prey, waiting for the strike, inch by inch.
We've got, so again, as you said, we're on the speed part of this race, so it's still downhill right now. And I know last year, as you were saying, the Megan didn't make her move until we got to, say, mile 9 or so. We were on the peninsula right after that. And again, as we look right now, Holly's right on her.
Yeah, there's no need to rush this pursuit. I suspect Holly will catch up with Anna. They'll run together for a while, and then Holly will move on.
Are you familiar with Anna? Is she someone that could answer any challenge from Holly?
She probably could, but she lacks the experience and the training of Holly at this point. My prediction is, yeah, she'll be back, and she will win this race sometime in the future, but probably not today. But we'll watch it play out. Strange things happen.
And before we head back to the City Hall, let me ask you this. I mean, because Holly knows the course and Anna doesn't, I mean, that's a difference too, because we are heading down to the south end. There's going to be wind, the beach is a different thing, and then you got the County Street Hill too. Knowing the course makes a huge difference in a race like this. Knowing the course makes a huge difference, and the experience that Holly has, the greater experience, she knows herself. And too. Holly is you need both those things. You need to know the course, and you need to know yourself and your training, and have faith in that. And Holly is just past her right now. Yeah, so this is the moment. Yes. So at 6 miles right now, we're coming up actually to the 10K time, 33:51. Yeah. And Holly has made her move, and she has taken over. They're running side by side, but if you will, she's got a stride or so on it. Yeah. So we'll be back. Stay tuned and continue watching here the 2024 New Bedford Half Marathon.
Well, we've had a change in leaders here on the women's side of things. Now it's Holly Reese has taken the lead at the 10-kilometer mark. That is a 34 minutes, Larry, right around that 6-minute pace that you've been talking about all day long.
That's a good 6-minute pace, and now she's taking the brunt of that in her face. The 10K place marker on the race is where Rockdale Avenue turns down towards Dartmouth Street. So that's where she's getting a downhill now, but she's got the wind in her face, pretty strong.
And next thing you know, you get at County Street and just constantly running uphill for a little while. Mm-hmm. All right, well, we'll see how that all progresses. Let's get back out to the race.
dominant performance here so far this morning from O'Connor, and really we can't tell you who's in second and third at this point because we can't see the pack, and that's how far out in front he is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he definitely has about a minute lead at this point right now, or more, and he continues to look spectacular. You know, his arms are looking great. I mean, looks like he's reaching in his pocket now for a gel, maybe a Morton, that he's going to just take right now, just give him a little fuel here. You know, 35 minutes into the race, but he continues to look spectacular here, up on his toes, and he looks like he's clicking along. Definitely his 440, 445 pace still.
Okay, so we'll check in a bit here. Back to the women's truck and Jim Marshall.
Making our way to the 7 mile mark, and it's a 2-woman race right now as we get to 7 miles. We got Holly Reese, who is in the lead, a couple of steps in front of Anna Osser, and we are at the 38:30 mark right now as we get to mile 7, and it is a 2-woman race, Tom.
It is, and whoever is in third is not in sight. So yeah, it's definitely a two-woman race, and we'll see how it resolves. I suspect Holly Reese's experience will pay off. And it's important to know the course, and it's important to know yourself, know your training, and have a touch of luck in this, because strange things sometimes happen.
The other thing too, Tom, with the sun coming out here, does the temperature warming up change anything? Does it make a runner feel better?
I think it's a little nicer, yeah, but this is not anywhere near as difficult as a searing hot day would be. So they're still comfortable and not suffering any heat stress at all today.
And the wind has sort of died down because we've changed directions here too, which has got to help.
Yes. Yeah, I think these conditions are close to ideal.
And we're coming up, so we passed the 7 mile mark, as I said, in the 38:30 time for both Holly and Anna. They're right in our view right now. And we're making our way to, and I've always said this, and you've run this race numerous times, I always say the race starts at the 8 mile mark because now you're on the peninsula. Things change.
Yes, it gets much tougher, and those hills at the end can undo someone.
Correct.
So there could be a sudden change.
So again, we are here. Again, 38:30 was the time unofficially for the 7 mile mark. And again, it's a 2-woman race with Holly Reese and Anna Ossier in the lead.
And nobody else in sight.
Nobody else in sight.
A tough area to run here, Jim. This is certainly one of the worst. There is some grade here. There is a bit of a hill here. Plus the wind is just really kicking up now.
Yeah, it looks to be a bit of a crosswind. You can kind of see him shortening his stride. You know, his arms, going to his arms a little bit more. But he still looks good, you know, in this wind, and that's probably because of all the high mileage he's done over the winter and the training he has done leading up to this point. But he looks good at this point, you know, shortened his stride a little bit, and he's still definitely clicking off sub-5s right now. But his gait, you know, to show you with this wind has changed a little bit. He doesn't have that open stride like he did, you know, about a mile ago, but it's definitely coming across from him. So it's coming from the west to the east at this point.
All right, Tom, we've entered the peninsula right now. We are closing in on the 8 mile mark. And timing, we just passed the 43 mile mark, but the 2 women are both side by side right now. And as we said moments ago, this is kind of where the race starts.
Yeah, and the wind is getting a bit stiffer too.
And this is
so there's another factor. We have 2 women racing against the wind.
And the interesting thing too is and we talked about this. You talked about this at the start with the wind. You're down on the peninsula. This is going to be cooler than it was going up Hathaway Road. And
yeah.
The wind is stiffer. It's a different ball game.
But at this pace, they're generating enough heat within themselves that the cold is not a problem. The cold is only a problem to a couple of guys who are sitting in a truck.
And Anna has just kind of pulled ahead right now. Holly, it's not a huge lead, but she has, I think, Holly's sort of sitting right now behind Anna at this point as we get to the 8-mile mark, which is coming up momentarily here, because I know we're close. Really, neither runner at this point, and they are very good athletes, obviously. Neither runner is taking much water or anything like that.
No, there's no big need for water. No one's going to suffer from dehydration today.
It beats running when it's 9 degrees. We just passed 8 miles, 44:45 unofficially I have right now, and Anna is got a little gap between the two of them.
Well, I'm a bit surprised at that.
With the ocean in the background, we've made a turn, and there you see the leader, Grant O'Connor, and no one else in the distance. We do believe that we saw Thomas Toff probably somewhere around 45 seconds to a minute behind O'Connor as we were making a turn here a bit earlier, but again, it's still Grant O'Connor.
Yeah, you could almost see him let out a sigh of relief after that, after the wind, because it was pretty brutal on Rodney French there. So we're past the 9-mile mark, approaching the 15K mark, and his stride, you can almost see it, like his cadence, like increasing now from just a few moments ago. And he's going to make a left turn and probably have a little bit of a tailwind here. So I'm sure he has a sigh of relief after going into that wind for a bit.
Yeah, that was really. It was really cold and windy there as we were making our way to the turn here.
We're nearing the end of the East Beach side, the West Beach side, as we're heading to East Beach. Anna has opened up a pretty good lead right now as we head almost to the 9-mile mark. We're just about at 9 miles right now, Tom.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Holly is so far back now. She caught up and they ran together for a while, and then Holly drops back. I think Anna did not put in a surge. I think Holly dropped back, and that's a bit worrying for her, and she's dropping back even further, so she might be having some difficulties. I doubt if this is a strategic move. However, it's not over till it's over.
O'Connor in the lead, approaching mile marker number 11. It's been a very consistent race from Grant.
Yeah, a dominating performance for him, up to the 11-mile mark so far. The West Hartford native, RPI graduate, 27 years old, just looks spectacular. Past 11 miles in 53:59, and that was a 4:53 mile, and he looks great. And we'll see how he does when he has to turn the corner here in just a minute and go up the hills, and we'll see how he handles the last couple miles here. But it's a runaway performance for a first-time entrance in the New Bedford Half Marathon, Grant from West Hartford, Connecticut.
We are on East Beach right now, making our way to the 10-mile mark. Anna Ossier is still in the lead right now. She has opened a nice little gap between herself and Holly Reese. Anna has been tucked in. I give her credit. She's been tucked in between a lot of the men runners here.
Yeah, a lot of these men around her are quite good and quite experienced. Several I see have run under 2:30 for a marathon. That's quite good. And I think that she has put in a surge on Holly. It's not simply that Holly dropped back with some difficulties. Anna put a move on at the last turn. Anna took a long look back to see where Holly was, and with great relief found that she wasn't so close.
And this is mile 10 right here, and we are at 56:10 that she crosses.
That's impressively fast, yes.
Over the last couple of years, we've seen the performances of Matt McDonald, and he handled this stretch of track very well. And what do you see here from Grant O'Connor?
Yeah, I mean, his stride is definitely looks great at this point. Looks pretty fluid. I mean, doesn't look to be tightening up too much. I'm sure he's just grinding away, grinding out the miles here, and he's just looking forward to getting to the finish line here. He's going to have to go a little bit of a hill here, so we expect him to shorten his stride a little bit, go to his arms more, checking his watch right there, see when the 12-mile mark is probably, finishing when he's going to be done, and probably looking for, again, that time in the 104:30 range or so.
All right, we've made our way off of East Beach, and we're coming up now to County Street in the Hill. Anna has opened up a great lead here as she makes her way through the 11-mile mark for the New Bedford Half Marathon Women's Division. As Tom was telling me off camera here, he didn't see this coming. Not that Anna wasn't a good runner, but the gap that she's opened, she looks really strong right now.
Yes, she put in a significant surge, which probably surprised Holly. I thought Holly's experience would pay off, but Anna seems to have come on into her own and exhibiting a great deal of talent. Her time is quite fast, and it, of course, won't be a course record to match Ingrid Christensen of the past, but it will be the fastest time in a long time. I'm guessing 1:12 at this point, which is equivalent of a sub 2:30 marathon time, which would put her into national contention. So this is not a trivial performance on her part.
There hasn't been a look of discomfort on his face at all throughout this race. Maybe a little bit now. You can see him finishing it up here. And when you're running sub 5-minute miles on average for over 13 miles, that's pretty impressive, Jim.
Yeah, absolutely. But, again, it's something that, he's trained for and certainly earned today. And he's a well-deserving winner of the New Bedford Half Marathon.
All right, Larry, as they're heading to home, here comes Grant O'Connor from West Hartford, Connecticut. Not a soul in sight near him. Look at him, great stride here.
from West Hartford, Connecticut, Grant O'Connor.
Grant O'Connor crosses the finish line 1 hour and 4 minutes.
Ryan Eiler from the Boston Athletic Association.
All right, we passed Washington Square. We're coming up to the 12-mile mark. Anna has poured it on over the last mile or so. She has a very comfortable lead as she makes her way up the County Street Hill. I would argue one of the toughest parts of the course right here. You've climbed 11 miles and now 12 miles is right here, Tom, and you got a time of about 1:07:20.
She's looking very strong and passing and moving up in the field, passing a lot of the men ahead of her who are very good runners, and they're not slowing down. So she's moving up, and as I just said, the best race of her life. I think she's going to be emerging from this race as a star for the future.
Jim, guess who's here with us? Grant O'Connor. Grant, what a race. I mean, we were so impressed to see how far out in front you were, and the type of performance today. You were simply dominant the entire race.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the encouragement along the way. I wouldn't really say that was my plan for today. Yeah, I realized I had an advantage on the hills in the first 5K, and then decided to press the advantage and try to hold it to the finish line.
Yeah, well, was it what you expected? I mean, it was windy here today. The temperature's a bit milder than normal. We've been here for some that have just been in brutal as far as, you know, wind and temperature. Today, mild, but the wind, especially around the ocean, it was pretty significant.
Yeah, the wind was a factor for sure. The headwind was tough, but I felt like I was able to use the tailwind in return. So luckily we got wind in both directions. Tried not to look at my watch too much on the headwind portions. I knew it would be slower, but.
Yeah, I mean, your strategy, I mean, did you expect, I mean, how much of the course were you told about, you know, prior to the race when you came up this morning? Were you told a little about the finish or the start or where the hills were? And what was your preparation? What were your expectations coming into today?
So I'd seen the course map, and I made sure I was familiar with like the elevation profile, so I knew when the hills were going to come early on. And on the warm-up, we made sure we saw the hill at mile 12. So I was glad I saw that ahead of time. I'd say, yeah, my preparation made sure to be aware of the hills in the beginning, but I really made sure to save something for the hill at mile 12, make sure I could get up in one piece.
Yeah, and you did. You did an outstanding job here today, and everyone excited to see your performance, and we were certainly encouraged and excited to see such a dominant performance today for someone. Is this your first half marathon?
It's not my first. It is a PR, though, by almost 2 minutes, so I'm pretty happy coming away from today.
Wow.
Happy to be among some of the previous names of the previous winners. New Bedford, such a prestigious race, and yeah, really happy to be out here on St. Paddy's Day, doing well.
Okay, a personal best. So you saw it here today, and Grant O'Connor, outstanding performance. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, thank
Congratulations.
you. Thanks, and thank you both.
Tom, we're on County Street right now, making our way to the final stretch. We're past 12 miles. You may have a half mile to go right now to finish this thing, and Anna is on cruise control.
We'll see what Anna Offler has for a kick, although she's not going to really need it.
No, and I tell you what, an impressive run right now for Anna. She just looks so comfortable out there. She just looks great. It's been fun to watch her. She had a smile on her face as she reached up the top of the hill here on County Street.
Will Benoit, Fairhaven. Give it up for Brian Shepard, Greater Boston Track Club.
Nicely done. Finish strong now.
It is Anna Oser from Brookline, Massachusetts, and Boston College. A good day for the BC Eagles.
A great race today, Tom Dadarian, and I have to admit your predictions were kind of true there. The finishers, the top three that we saw here, were women that you mentioned.
Yeah, we didn't have a mystery person, and the contenders were the contenders, and they raced in a courageous and somewhat thrilling way. I did expect Holly Reese to win again, as she had before, but Anna is the ingenue who has come on the scene, and I think we can expect great things from her in the future.
We don't have Anna's official time yet because we peel off before the finish, but Anna finished in about 1:14 and change, and I know that Holly, it seems Holly was crossing just under 1:15, so not a big gap. And then Rachel, you said the third place finisher, she was about a minute behind them. So, as you said, good times for these women.
Definitely national class times, yes.
And for the race itself, a good race between the Holly and Anna, but then Anna made that move, surge at, if you will, again on the peninsula at the same place as last year.
Yeah, I don't know where she got the energy for that. I thought the experienced Holly was going to show her experience, but the youngster is the new star.
Well, Tom, it's been great working with you again as always this year. I always look forward to it. Ethan at Lopez, our videographer, Kevin and Jim, who are driving the truck and spotting in the truck. Just a great group of guys here. But again, thank you for coming down.
Group. Yes, my privilege.
And we will see you next year.
Sure.
There you go. All right, that's going to do it for the women's truck here for the 2024 New Bedford Half Marathon. Thanks for joining us.
Jim had the privilege, a chance to speak to Grant O'Connor. It was just an outstanding race from Grant here today. You mentioned down to earth, a guy who was simply so down to earth, and to hear that today, this was a personal best by over 2 minutes.
Yeah, just a testament to the training he's put in, the work he's put in, and all by yourself to run that fast by yourself is spectacular, and look for big things for him in the future.
A local runner from right here in New Bedford.
So the 2024 New Bedford Half Marathon is still going on as the other runners are coming through. But our winner on the men's division was Grant O'Connor today with a time just over 1:04. Your impressions on that one, Larry?
Very good time for this kind of a day. I mean, you really had to work. You got the wind in your face for most of the race, and then it pushed you near the end. So it's a very good time today.
And certainly the Boston College Eagles, they're pretty happy right now. A lot of male runners came in the top 15. But on the female side of things, Anna Osa, a Boston College grad, wins the whole thing.
Absolutely, and all-American out of the ACC, and she's got a coaching background at BC now, so she really did well.
She really did. So it was just a great day here. The runners still coming in. A lot of our local friends coming through. We're glad to see that. And Larry, we thank you for taking time out once again to join us here at the start-finish line.
Always a pleasure. It's nice and sunny at the finish.
Oh, we sure. The sun comes out now while we're out here basking in the sunshine. So for all of our folks that were doing this today, both for the women and for the men, such as Joe Cabral and Jim Marshall and Tom Dadarian, and I'm missing Jeff Dandero also. And of course, for my broadcast partner right here, that's Dr. Larry Finnerty. I'm Ed Pereira. One last time, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your holiday.
Well, congratulations, guys. This is really exciting. I heard it was a little breezy down on the peninsula. It kind of always is, for those of you who've run this race before. But it's it's that time of year. But anyway, I know you guys had a chance to do a little bit of a cool down. I want to be respectful of muscle tightness and all that stuff. So we'll get right into it. I just wanted to say just a couple of words up front. So words of thanks to everybody who contributed in some way, large or small, to the organizing of the race. The Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, represented by Chris Donnelly here today, Dan McCarthy, the lead race organizer, and literally hundreds of volunteers work a long time to put it together. And it's for New Bedford, it's a big rite of spring, as it turns out. It's hit or miss some years with the weather. Today, except for the breeze, I think the temperature was pretty good, and the skies parted, and that was great. But it's great for our city. It draws a lot of folks here, and we hope that everybody who comes here and enjoys themselves goes out and spreads the word and tells two friends and so forth. So it's a good event for us. And by the way, we went off, I think some of you know, we went off the Grand Prix last year, and the participation really dipped. We're back on the Grand Prix now for reasons and rules that I can't even begin to explain, but it's surged back up, and that's great. And so we're pleased with that, and I think the difference between this year and last year, I've almost like 40% gain in participation. Is really significant. So you beat more competition than there was in place last year. So for what that's worth. But the other thing I just want to say is lots of city employees worked very hard to support the race. As you saw, folks out there, we've been filling potholes for the last few weeks, as we always do at this time of year. So I hope you guys were able to maintain ankle integrity along the race route. That's important to us all. I want to recognize City Councilor Shane Burgo, who's here today. The city really goes all out to make this happen. So, with all those thanks in mind, I wanted to announce this year's winners. My understanding is that we usually start off women first, third to first, and then men third to first. But I think third place, is our third place finished? She was not able to make it, but I will announce her name anyway. We'll start off that. So in third place this year in the women's division was Rachel Highland of Belmont, Massachusetts, who came in at 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 38 seconds. Let's hear it for Rachel. We'll go right to number 2. So coming in second in the women's division with a time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 12 seconds is someone who's run this race before and run it very well before, Holly Reese of Brookline, Mass. It's good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Well done.
Thank you.
Great to have you. Great to have you back. We'll take a picture.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wait, there's more.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Well done. All right, and so we'll go to now the coming in at a time of 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 40 seconds, which is a really fast time, is Anna, I don't want to mispronounce your German last name. Is it Ursula or Essler? Ozer, yeah, that was my third guess. I'm sorry, Anna. Is Anna Ozer, the winner of the women's division of the 2024 New Bedford Half Marathon. Anna, congratulations. Really well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome. That's quite a pace.
We get in there too.
And we have that. This is what you get. This is new, by the way, so if you guys had known, you'd actually get a monogram.
Congratulations. Good.
Thank you.
Way to go.
Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Great job. Fabulous job. Yeah, so what we have that for the winner. Can you hold that up just so everybody see? Yeah, so that's a new thing. As you remember last year was like, well, so Holly's like, wow, if I had only known, I would have picked up the pace. Anyway, so let's go to the men's division. And so coming in third place with a time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, 13 seconds is Thomas Toth of Playstyle, New Hampshire. Congratulations. Well done. Good job. Good job. Great to have you too. And all that. Here, we'll take a picture. Come on in.
Yeah, come on in. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Way to go.
Nice job. Very good job. All right. Coming in second in the men's division with a time of 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 47 seconds is Ryan Eiler of Boston, Massachusetts.
Thank you guys for putting on such a great race.
No, not at all.
Appreciate it.
No, not at all. And you know what? Thank you all the time. And appreciate your great.
We're happy to have you. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate the effort. Yeah, not at all. We appreciate you having us. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
All right. You have. All right.
Don't know what to do.
Okay. Okay, coming in at a time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 44 seconds. The winner of the New Bedford Half Marathon in 2024 is Grant O'Connor of West Hartford, Connecticut. I saw you from above coming across the finish line. It's a great fanfare, but this is a great time.
Yeah, this is cool. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's. I just want to say thank you to everybody for for competing hard today. We just love to see it. I mean, it's so fun to watch. Really exceptional runners like yourselves out there competing really hard. It's a great athletic event, and it's also, we love the participation in the city. I mean, folks across New Bedford are out and about. I hope you guys heard some folks cheering. There's some, hope you got by the beer stand down by the beach, right? So it's very, very tempting, right? But anyway, no, we'd love to have you all here, and we're so grateful for your coming out and competing as hard as you can. And again, I just want to thank everybody, the Friendly Sons and all the city employees who made it a great race. And we hope to see you guys back next year.